Hi, and welcome back to the channel. We are here for another video on learning the tarot, and we're going to put it all together. What we know so far using our tools. And everything I teach in these is based on my book, 60-Second Tarot, Learning to Read with or Without Intuition. So if you find yourself having no clue what a card means, you can still read it by putting the pieces together. So let's get into this. I have randomly picked two cards here. We've got the Eight of Swords and the King of Pentacles. And what we're going to do is just piece these together. So let's start with the first card there, the Eight of Swords. This flips up. You have no clue what this means. The picture or the image isn't speaking to you at all. What do you do? Well, first we have a background, which is gray. Now, these are hand-drawn cards, so they're all going to be a little different, or not everything's going to be like from a printing press, perfect and everything. The colors will be a little different, and even when you take a picture and then uploaded it, sometimes looks a little different. But this is a gray background, so we know that something is trying to come into balance. So based on this image with somebody tied up with a blindfold, things are out of balance. So since this has to do with balance, we could say things are out of balance here. We have also a number, the number eight, and we have a suit. So what does eight symbolize? If you remember, it symbolizes power and things that represent power, such as sex, money, authority, boundaries. And this person does look like they're surrounded kind of by a boundary. So maybe there's some power issues happening here, and the power struggle or the power is out of balance. This also can mean karma. Eights have to do with karma. So this is either payment or reward karma. Some kind of power struggle going on, or ignoring your own personal power and not wanting to face the situation, just looking at that picture. Because if you have those two details of the eight and the gray background, now the picture starts to make some more sense. We also have a suit. What does this suit have to do with? It has to do with the quality of air, which has to do with the season of autumn, if you're choosing that for this suit. It also has to do with things that are in your head, thoughts, mental processes. Swords can represent obstacles, problems. Why? Because if we're having negative thinking, that usually causes those things. Sometimes it's outside forces causing those obstacles and problems. They also represent pain because they're a weapon that can cut. So something's out of balance. Your thoughts are not balanced. And this has to do with maybe denying your own power or something like that. Now, if we asked a specific question, so you also have, in addition to the suit, you also have keywords. Whoops, I went too far. Let me get out of here for a moment. So there's a little bit of a delay when I'm clicking, and so I clicked too many times. Apologies. So you also have a keyword that maybe you've created for this card. Now, I haven't gone through all the cards yet, but we're working on the wands right now. But maybe your keyword for this is fear. So maybe that, if you remember that keyword, or maybe your keyword is prisoner because you know you're going to see her tied up, and that's going to trigger, oh, yeah, the keyword's prisoner. Maybe you're a prisoner of your own thoughts, and that's putting you out of balance. Now, if you asked a specific question like, um, maybe it's general, it's not a question. I'd like to know about my financial situation, and this card comes up. Well, eight represents money, which is a symbol of power. And this look, and your keyword is prisoner. So you're a prisoner of your thoughts in regards to money. So we just said all that without using any intuition. Now, if your intuition kicks in, all the better. All right, let's look at the second card. I brought up one of the court cards or the people cards because they don't have a number, but we can still look at the background because you might look at this and think, okay, it's a guy sitting in a chair. I got nothing. Well, we have a yellow background, which means it's happening right now. We have a suit, it's Pentacles, which deals with money. And wouldn't it be interesting if these two cards came up together? I'm just realizing that now. The eight representing money, and then we have a money card. Maybe this person's responsible, the person putting you out of balance. But this is a generally a pretty positive king to me, but upright. And he's not coming up reversed or anything, which we haven't gotten into yet. But we have the suit of Pentacles dealing with the material world, physical things, things of value, money, etc. I mean, he's holding a coin there. Pentacles can also be substituted for coins. And maybe your keyword for this is banker. For me, this is the good husband card, but maybe your keyword is banker. So this card pops up. There's a banker involved with your money situation right now. Something's going on with it. Are you investing money or whatever you want to say here? If they asked about same question, I'd like to know about my financial situation. Well, this is a king sitting here in a position of power, a banker. Feels like your money is in good hands. It's doing pretty well right now. But you might want to pick a card for the future. Now, let's say we wanted to pick to bring timing into this. That first card, Eight of Swords, autumn again, and this second one, winter time. But because we have this yellow background, it's talking about right now. But maybe this card right now will be connected to the following winter. So whatever you're doing right now will have an influence on in the wintertime. Now, these cards, you're putting this together. You do want to bring in intuition, but sometimes even if you're using intuition, a card comes up and you just blank out. That's when you start to break it down again and into these steps. And there's even more steps that you can go into this. But if you're going to use the seasons, what I do with those is I start them on those equinoxes and solstices. So if I said winter for this card because of Pentacles, that's going to start December 20th, 21st, somewhere in there, the winter solstice. And right now, we're in November. So this is like towards the end of November. We're still officially in fall because we haven't hit that winter solstice yet. So that's how I time these. And as always, you're programming your cards so you know if you're going to read this as winter, the cards, don't pull up this card. Don't show me this card unless it's going to be from December 21st until the spring equinox. So hopefully that makes sense. And I'm sending you lots of love. If you want to find me, I'm afraid to click again here, but there we go. To find me, AnnMarieEber.com. And I will see all of you real soon.